every tree can be a happy tree. This tree's my friend.
These are cedar trees.
These trees are all cedar trees. Every piney looking tree you see is a cedar tree here, and they like sunny rocky areas with thin soil that most trees hate. They also like sunlight, and this is right where our glade is. What is a glade? Well, we'll get to that a little bit later, but it's a pretty neat little place that needs a lot of help in Missouri. Cedar trees spread fast with their berries and roots. Birds eat their berries and poop out the seeds as they fly around, giving cedar trees the opportunity to spread and become quite invasive and out of control. Though they do smell nice baking in the summer sun, and their trunks are great for fence posts. Did I mention that the pines on their branches are very irritating to your skin? They poke through everything they can like splinters. They scratch you, leaving your skin burning. And they like to come back after you cut them down. Most people might spray it all with Roundup until everything is dead, but we are not most people. So this is our first attempt to get rid of them naturally. We hope to try burning as well, and cut trees down every year as needed, or even let the goats eat the new trees. We'll see.
I try to grip with these pads, they're a little thicker. Grandpa, let's go get them.
When we came out here, I was thinking we'll take out 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 cedar trees every trip out here. But look at this. Easy. This is the side of the glade that we haven't started working on yet. It's mostly cedar trees. This is the side of the glade that we have been working on. You can see that it's much more opened up, and now sunlight will be able to hit the ground and get into the soil. We tried to cut the stumps of the cedar trees as close to the ground as possible. From a distance, you can't even tell they were there. It's kind of done for the clippers. So I guess I'm just gonna walk down and chop down anything I see that can fit in these.
You see that right there? I'm gonna get it. I can probably get this one too. Right.
Easy. Victory. All right, so got my first 7. Okay, look at this. I can stand in here. Feel like a kid. Put a couch here. It's totally fine, totally normal.
I have always loved moss. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know if the camera can even capture that. No, maybe.
Can you hear the hawk?
Hopefully we'll get through into here today. We'll try it out. See where we go. We're running out of daylight. There's Nova. I dropped a few trees on her. She's alright though.
This is what happens when you let your glade go wild. You see that? It's like just cedar trees. little pile over there, piles of everything dead. Yeah, you're cute.
Jeez. There's one of those wicked guys. Get out of there. You gotta go, buddy. It's something that's native here or not? We're gonna look. Oh, looks like somebody found a bone. Okay. What? Hopefully it's a deer.
Well, maybe
3
not.
hours later. It wasn't quite done yet. It has to marinate for a little while. Why are we doing this?
So what is a glade? The soil is shallow and rocky, and it usually has a different pH. It's usually weirdly warmer there.
It's like a desert.
Yeah, the sun faces directly into it. Everything is warmer, and probably the heat from the rocks as well contributes to this like different microclimate.
Why bother restoring the glade? Why not turn it into some kind of production, animals grazing or something? But the glades are important, and you know, we like the biodiversity it brings to our property. There's lots of wildflowers. Having the diversity of the bird population that don't necessarily like being in the wood would be on the glade. There's so like indigo buntings.
You have creatures living there that don't live in any other type of habitat.
The eastern collared lizard is one.
The eastern collared lizards. Right. Missouri is home to only 11 species of lizards, including the eastern collared lizard, which is on the decline because they can only live in glade areas. So it's kind of important for all those animals to have a place. And we love lizards. We've had leopard geckos, bearded dragons, chameleons. They're just neat. And to think that they could be here someday would be just awesome. And maybe they're hiding out and we'll see them in the summertime. They're everywhere. One of the reasons you only find eastern collared lizards in glades is because they like to bask on the warm rocks. And without sunlight, you can't have warm rocks, and you can't have all the species of vegetation like the Missouri black-eyed Susans that we see here. And eventually this would just become like dark forest. The lizards just sort of can't have that because of overgrazing and the suppression of natural wildfires. The glades have just sort of been taken over, and eventually there will be no glades at all. It will just be forest, and all those animals that depend on that little microclimate will become extinct unless they're in like zoos. It's important that people recognize what a glade is, and if they have one on their property, they might want to either get help from the conservations or just sort of tackle it ourselves. We're kind of trying to tackle it ourselves and see if it gets too difficult. We might have to, like, I don't know, like 3 years from now, if we're saying, man, we're cutting down a heck of a lot of cedar trees, this is not working, then we might enroll in a program. But right now we're just kind of seeing what we can do, and I think we've made a lot of progress here. It's pretty amazing.
It's a long, slow process. Every day, every time out here, we clear it out a little bit more and more each time.
So we think this glade is a dolomite glade because we found black-eyed Susans, and black-eyed Susans are one of the indicators of dolomite glades. With that type of rock, as the soil erodes, you often get what looks like staircase patterns. We kind of have that intermittent around our property and a little bit here, so I think that's what this is. We had a guy from the conservation come out here, and he was looking at the types of grass, and I believe he said dolomite as well. And he said they're really important to Missouri, and they're one of the areas that the Missouri Conservation Department is trying to improve. Is that a good femur?
start over on the